Okay, so I'm about to start here, but I lost the little what do you call it? The one breaker thing for the top of the microphone. Isn't working. Just vanished. Hopefully I don't stand on it. So I'm gonna just do something here, man. Oh dear, I don't know where it went. So if you listen there, you can hear the Henry the Hoover sucking into the cyclone that I can gather the recycle the powder. Or not recycle, but you know, reuse it. Rather not going down the line on this. It sucks any in the air up and through this little surround. This little hole here. This dome part. But this the part's in the oven here now, but the problem is, or the project's in the oven, I should say. I can't find the flipping the wet one. But I got a wee look out here. I don't want to go out too far because you know the signal and all that. Okay, so I'm gonna go in the house. I'm gonna get the other one. It's always better, even indoors, to have that on to stop any interference. Okay, so I just have to go in the house and get the other one. Oh dear, dear. Tested. Okay, so the first thing I like to do here, right, is give it a good heat in the oven to make sure there's no oil that runs out any gaps or any pores. I'll bring the phone up closer. So what I'm talking about there is, this is my steel box section. So when it was cut on the bandsaw, it was cut with obviously water and cutting fluid. On the inside of this box section, obviously would have been a bit of moisture. So I basically put this in the oven first, before I start applying any powder. So it's not getting or degassing it or anything, because it's my steel. It's just removing, making sure there's no water that's going to come through any wee pinholes or anything like that. So it's sitting there now at 180 degrees. When I apply the powder onto this, it'll probably sitting maybe 100 degrees. That's the way I like to do it. Sort of hot flocking it. So it's not, all the powder's statically charged, yes, but hot flocking it just allows the powder to get into any wee nooks and crannies better. So what I mean by hot flocking it is blowing the powder onto it when the object's actually hot, not cold. So we have the mirror polish plates and behind the tape. I will now apply a bit of zinc powder up to the tape, and when it's this oven sitting here blowing out 200 degrees, so I need to hurry up. When this here is coated some zinc from the whole frame up to this point of the mirror plate, the steel plate, right, I will then feather out the edges, and later when it cools with sandpaper, when I say sandpaper, very fine sandpaper, maybe 600 grit, or 320, but I need to make sure not to hit the mirror, so I have to make sure that I have the sandpaper curled the way I want it to do that, so it doesn't hit the mirror finish. So if we look on here now, you can see this weld on the inside. When I put powder in this now, I'm just going to be checking here now before I go any further. Sorry, the phone's not focusing. I'm going to be getting a bit of thinners, and I'm going to just rub it over the top, any bits where I suspect wee bits of oil that might have seeped out of the box section. I don't think there has, because the welds are good enough. It's just I'm just being very careful here. Okay, so I'm going to put, because this is too big for the booth, I have to powder coat it away from the oven. Okay, but I have to use the oven, the tracking system, to hold the object because it's quite heavy. What did I weigh it? It was, what was it again? I forget now. It was 12 or 15 kilos. So we obviously can't hang that on the hooks. We need the support of the oven, the tracking system. But because the oven's warm or hot, I don't want the statically charged powder to go into the oven, because it's going to stick to everything. Obviously there won't be that much powder because of the way this gun's designed. So I put the camera on the stand here. I've got my microphone. I found the wee hood, whatever you call it thing, I forget what you call it. I'm going to start the other camera up here, but I am recording this in 4K too, for the main video on the channel. So here's the oven I built, here's the powder coating booth I built, and here's the Ebike testing station I built. There's a lot of genuine people that are interested in my projects, but as I've mentioned over the last few projects, there's a lot of haters too. But the thing is here, the haters will never stop me doing what I love doing and producing high quality work. Typically online these days, as the same with everything, you get a lot of hate for producing good things, and that's just the way the world is now. It's quite a shocking place. There's a lot of them on my channel, yes, but at the end of the day, these haters, I just want to get this out here before I go any further. I'm on here demonstrating my skills and demonstrating my work for people, but in return I get a lot of hate, just because they see high quality work and they don't like that. So just thought I would get that out there before I go any further, because that's not nice, and I don't know why people act that way at all, because I'm on here showing my projects, showing my skills, showing people how to do things, and in return they're giving me hate. I think it's kind of, that's just a reflection of themselves, and to be honest, I couldn't give a crap. It doesn't bother me. Dislikes don't bother me. There are negative comments, are deleted. Dislikes are never looked at, and dislikes don't affect the quality of my work. As you can see here, and it's only going to keep getting better from here on in. And thank you to the ones giving me the thumbs up there. I know there's a lot of genuine sitting online, but when I was building the guards for the compressor that runs the system that I created here, the people that came on, and they were from this country, Northern Ireland, and they were hating on the project for no reason, and hating on me and saying I don't know what I'm doing and all. But like everything you see in this garage and everything you see in my YouTube channel was made by me, handmade. I don't see what the problem is, why they need to give me negative energy or all this nonsense. But anyway, I'm going to continue here anyway, and I'm not going to let it bother me. So as I say, the thumbs up, I really appreciated it. The thumbs down doesn't bother me. The thumbs down's a reflection on themselves. So what I'm going to do here first, right, is I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to put my mask on, not my air respirator, because I don't want to mark with my head and round this. So if you can imagine me now on here, jumping back and forward, I don't want to scratch that thing that I got up. So I don't want to cut the phone too close because it'll get destroyed. So here we have red Scotch-Brite. The only reason I'm going to be using this is to remove any grit that may be left by the sandblasting stage. So regranules, regains the sand. So I'm going to do that first. So I have the gloves on too, that's all first. In fact, I should point out, all the negative energy, all the negative feedback that I get goes into my projects, and that's why they stand out. So just point that out. So just removing any bits of sand from the sandblasting stage to make sure that there's no little pimples in the powder coat finish. So that's alright, just a wee quick rub on the surface. And the healers won't like this. But as I say, nothing I can do about it. So I will bring the live stream closer when I'm powder coating maybe a wee titty bit here. So you probably do hear me going on about it a lot, but you know, has to be said. So I just want to point out here, look at this one. Before I go any further, I'm going to be blowing the actual, I need to get this other camera started soon. Before I go any further, I'm going to blow this off. The red Scotch-Brite, where did I do that? So the red Scotch-Brite stage is done. We're now moving on to just blowing it with air, and then we're going to apply the powder coat. The zinc. Well, this there working. Here too long. Okay, so the plates are covered. The vacuum panel and the oven's over there because this doesn't fit in the oven, okay, with that plate on that I made. Doesn't matter, the oven will still work. The oven will still work, but it won't be as effective. So if I get a bit harder here now, and if you watch, sorry, I took my mask off. If you watch this cycle and this unit that I built here, and I roll the powder into this dome thing up at the top, you'll see it going onto the cyclone. You see it on there now, so that's saving my powder. So it's a recycling system that I designed here. So I'll go over here. So see the powder going round on a cyclone effect now. So basically, just like a twister in the real world, everything falls down through the middle here because of this cyclone. This design here, okay, and this canister that I made. This is polycarbonate, not perfect. This is a stainless, what do you call it, funnel, but I had to modify it to make it fit here. Okay, so I'm going to start the other yoke. Okay. So, I'm going to block the inserts on the bottom of these screws first. Sorry, the rivet nuts. Respect. What I like to do here is rub my hand over the top of it, see if there's nothing on it. Gotta give it a hit again. I'm going to heat it up to about 150 degrees and then bring it out. I'm going to powder coat it at maybe 100 degrees. So I'm just getting this infrared temperature gun sorted here first. Still in the back here, the multimeter. So until this heats up, so the oven's sitting at 190 degrees, right? Well, what do we say? Right, work this. Yeah, so the oven's sitting at 184 and it will pick up to 191 degrees. I'm obviously going to bring it out in a moment, but I'll just walk around the booth here for a minute before I start. So the hoovers for cyclone, powder recovery. And there's the back of it. So I decided to put this wee design on it. There's the bottom. So everything's all rivet nut. They're using rivet nuts. Nice and neat. This is all stainless steel here. There's a orange flake and a black background and that. So we're nearly there. We've got a digital display for the controls for this too, as we see. There. So that's for the control for this spindle, okay? I'm not using that, I'm just using my tracking system. The spindle's for spinning, what do we say? Wee small items. Anything can fit into the booth, which would be approximately 900mm wide. Well, not that big, but you know what I mean. That's how wide this is. So I'm about to start here in a moment. We've got our lovely light here at the back. And there we have the powder. You'll see that filling up now when I'm powder coating. So I'm going to start here now. 1 minute. So this is the first bit of powder coating I've done in a long time. And knowing me, I went and obviously making it tricky for myself. Hold it 12 degrees. Surface temperature. Oh. Final time to air. to wax the cyclone. Look at the camera a minute. Should have had it all that way, no? So once that starts going off, right? Where do I got my breath back? I had it on outside there. Once that starts going off, I'll look at it through the glass. I'll start counting 10-15 minutes. But what I can do here is I can just release the timer that I have created, a setup. So I've got a whole timer here, and the oven will stop itself. So I can reset it to 600 seconds by doing that. So there we have the cyclone in action. So that's the powder it's collected. So I designed that so it's easy clean there. So I will be bringing the light in a moment, well 10 minutes. Oh, what's on that? Take hand, Mike. So up here we have another project that I built. So automatic linear levers. The haters won't like it, of course, because it's exceptional. So I can stop the fan, keep the levers open. I use this for powder coating and stuff, spraying sometimes. And I can turn the motor on again. And I can close the shutters and turn the fan off with button B, channel B. So the birds can't get in, or pest. So I'll keep it on a moment to get the powder out. So that's going off now. So the closer to the element, it's going to be going off quicker. So 15 minutes from now. I didn't mention there when I was powder coating. So when I was coating this, I was putting the coat on not to be too thick, because if you can imagine, I'm applying a white base coat after this, and I'm also applying a candy, and I'm also applying a lacquer. So I don't want it to be too thick. So the zinc primer I'm trying to keep thin, and also if you can imagine, the further we move away from a metal object with the static powder, it won't stick to it. So I have to keep the coats thin. Not too thin, but thin enough. This is going to be staying in the oven now until I apply the white, which will be maybe tomorrow. So I have to rework the tape at the top on the mirror finish plates up there. So at the top there you can see the bracket that I made and live stream, I don't know when it was. So I pushed the oven up to 210 degrees to heat the metal object up, because it is quite dense. There's not much I can do with weight here. So there's the powder connected using the cycle. You know. would just pull up a corner. That's sleepy. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it out and check it, right? Because the thing that obviously the project was my steel, it was silver, and the zinc powder is kind of silver. It's very hard to see if I applied enough powder. But when I go to use the white and the candy, the lacquer will be okay too because the lacquer is white before it cures. The zinc primer is very hard to put on, very hard to see. So I don't know if maybe I should just leave it alone, because the white base coat will be over the top of it anyway, so long as there's enough on it. So I only really need to half cure this, to be honest, but I'm just going to fully cure it. So I built the oven, I built the booth, and the compressor too in the background. So 1.5 minutes. So that's the oven shut down. The fan keeps running. Okay. I need to be careful. I need to be careful here because when the powder's hot, when the object's hot, the dust can still land on the hot powder because it's soft, okay? So I mightn't bother bringing it out. We'll see the crack here. I'll bring it out to finish this live stream. I'll risk it. So basically I'm ready for the white coat, or the white base. I'm not going to put it on today because I need to raise the tape on the mirror plates. So I have to make sure this tracking system is nice and clean, this reel. Because you don't want the dirt falling down on top. Okay everyone, I have to put it back down here because I can't risk anything falling on it. Oh, fuck. Okay, so as I mentioned, right, that coat is a thin coat. The next coat will be a white base for the candy. I could finish this now with a final coat, but I'm not going to. I'm going to add white base for the candy. I could put on a mirror finish, but mirror powder, but I have mirror powder on there, but I don't like using it. I actually like the white better in the background. A bright colour for the candy is all you want. So if you look across that, you will see a wee slight haze. That is the actual sandblasting and the wee skift of powder. It's a wee thin coat, but not too much. That's really important there. So again, thank you to the Genuine for watching. And also, thanks to the haters. Are they finding jealous at the staying up with haters? The people couldn't bless themselves. So that's it. What I like to do at this stage is leave the oven ajar, open a wee tiny bit, just let the hot air out. And that's how you do it, people, with your DIY booth and oven. So goodbye to the Genuine and goodbye to the haters. Catch you on the next one for more interesting and extraordinary projects.